If you're looking to remove yourself from the day-to-day operations without descaling your business, then you need to watch this video. I'm going to show you exactly how you can do this in 2 phases, really realistic and also with actionable steps, so you can get started with this right away and not waste any more time managing tasks and admin tasks within your business and work on high-level tasks. I have implemented this exact strategy for businesses that are scaling to multiple 6 and 7 figures, and I'm sure that you can do the same with your business. It doesn't matter if you're a coach or agency, growth operator, or any sort of agency that is working online. So let's get started with the first part, decluttering. This is the first phase you need to go through. Before trying to build new things and add more stuff on your plate, you need to start decluttering. That means whatever you're currently doing, you need to do it better, and you need to find ways to do it in a more efficient way. So let's go with the first action item. You need to start tracking your tasks on ClickUp. I am not affiliated with ClickUp, but it's a really solid tool that I use personally for my business and also my clients' businesses that rely on project management. If you're not doing project management and instead you're keeping notes on a notebook, or you're using a calendar or a Google Doc, then this is super inefficient. There are tools out there that are helping you manage projects better, and you need to have all your tasks added there. It requires some additional effort, but you need to start doing things differently if you want to see that change happen. Because when your tasks are not on ClickUp, then your team's tasks are also not on ClickUp, and then you don't have control over what is going on in your business. And everything relies on communication, relies on Slack messages or WhatsApp messages, checking in with one another what is going on in the business. Whereas if you start building that culture of tracking tasks on ClickUp and having all the workload documented somewhere, then you know what exactly is happening in your business, and this is the first step to removing yourself from the day-to-day and having a manager. This way you can trust the manager, and whenever you need, you can verify that everything is looking fine and everything is working according to plan by going and checking on ClickUp. So get started with ClickUp. I'll have a link in the description, but you can also start just on your own with a free plan. You don't need to start on the paid plan yet. So start with this, and every task you work on needs to be on ClickUp. If it's not on ClickUp, if the task is not updated, it never happened. This needs to become a new habit of yours, so you can track progress on project management software and make sure that tasks get done, whether you are managing the team or someone else is managing the team. The next one is a consulting log. This is pretty much a doc where you can track the notes and action items for every client account. For example, if you had a chat with a client today, you can just go on a doc within ClickUp and you can track the action items and the notes for the team. Let me show you what that would look like. Right here, you can see I have the consulting log, and you can see here I'll have the date, the attendees, the topic, notes, and action items. Every time you create an action item here, create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can select it and turn this into a task. This way, when you check in with a client for the next time, you will know exactly what happened with the previous tasks. If you would like to have a transparency with a client so they also have access to your ClickUp, then you can do that. I don't really recommend it. You don't want clients to see on the back end what's going on, because then they'll have even more questions. But if you want to, you can also share this with the clients and they can see exactly what is the progress with the tasks. So I highly recommend you create one of these docs per client account that you have, and you start tracking your notes. Instead of relying on your memory or Slack messages that you're going to send to your team, just keep everything in a central place, and then from there your team will know what exactly they need to work on and what was the outcome of that check-in call that you had. So that is step number 2. Step number 3, you need to get your team to start using the focus for today. The focus for today is something that I've shared on other videos on YouTube. You can check the link down below. And pretty much the focus for the day is at the start of the day, the team needs to share with you what they're going to work on. This is an accountability tool because you will be using ClickUp to track tasks, and you'll have the focus for today as a message for accountability to communicate with the team to either add more tasks or remove certain tasks. This way you know what happened at the end of the day. You'll get the team to put this message on one Slack channel. You can call it productivity, and it will look like this at the end of the day. Pretty much you want them to update the same message. They will not send a second message, and they will add these emojis. For example, if the task is not completed, it's still in progress, they will add this emoji. If it's done, they will add a check mark, and then if it's blocked, this red circle, and then if it's rescheduled, they're gonna have this symbol. So this way you make sure that at the start of the day, the team members have shared their focus for the day. You can keep them accountable, or later on when you have a manager, they can keep them accountable. And if you need to reset their priorities, you can just go create a thread under that specific message and tell them, hey, can you also add this task on the focus for the day? Or can you remove this and add that instead? I use this with my team for the past 3 years, and for every client that we have implemented it, they love it and they use it every day. And that is companies that are making multiple 7 figures per year. So you need to start doing the same so you can keep an eye on what is happening, and you can trust the team with the tasks and also verify with ClickUp and the focus for the day that everything is moving forward. Now, let's get to the next point. You need to have a team call every Monday. So go on your calendar and create that event. Invite the entire team, or you can split the calls based on the department that the teams are working on. For example, you can have a call with the finance team, you can have a call with the delivery team, with the sales team, but you need to have that call to set the tone for the rest of the week. And that means you're going to share with them the weekly focus. And that requires a little bit of preparation on your end so that when Monday comes, the team knows exactly what they need to complete for the rest of the week. And if you are a media buying agency or marketing agency, and your first objection here will be that there is a lot of volatility, you don't know exactly what will happen, then my suggestion to you is that you plan 50 to 60% of what the team needs to do, and then they have availability for the rest. There's no excuse to start a week without a plan or tasks for the rest of the week. If you have recurring tasks, you can create those on ClickUp. If you have new tasks to work on, then again, go and create them on ClickUp. And then when Monday comes, you show the plan to the team and you tell them, hey guys, this is a workload. This is exactly what I need you to work on. Do I have your commitment? This way, your team knows exactly what to work on and everything moves forward. You don't have a team just maintaining what you've built so far, but they actually move things forward, and then you can see who is adding value to the company and who is falling behind with their tasks. And let's get to the next and last part. You need to create a schedule for yourself and your team. So let me show you what that looks like. This is a template where you can see right here. From Monday to Friday, you need to show your team what you want them to work on a day-to-day basis. This is not to micromanage people or track every minute of their day. This is a tool to set expectations and also to plan based on their availability. For example, if you have a team member that is going to work 8 hours, then you need to account for a lunch break if this is something you do with your team. And you need to plan for calls and to have a realistic expectation on how many hours they have available to work on their core activities and how much time they spend on calls or tasks that are helping the business improve. This way, you'll have the number of hours and then you'll create tasks according to this plan. So you need to have this for every single role in your company, including yourself. This way, all the tasks get done, the expectations are set, and it's really easy for the team members to follow all the tasks and make sure everything gets done and nothing falls behind. So now that you're done with the decluttering, you can go back to building. That means you are going to add new stuff to your business. So let's go to phase 2, building. The first thing you need to do is to list out all the tasks that are to be completed in the company on a day-to-day, weekly, or monthly schedule. So once you have listed them out, now it is time to assign them to a role. For example, if you want client reporting to happen every Friday, then you need to assign this to a client success admin or a client success manager, not to John Smith or George Michael, because maybe you don't have roles split and there is one person who is taking care of multiple roles at the same time. I would like for you to still assign this task to the role, not the person, because we are trying to plan the business of the future, not the business of the present. So this way you'll have the list of tasks and you'll know who is going to take care of them and who is responsible for this. You need to have these areas of responsibility set, so then the responsibility doesn't fall back to you and you're back to managing client accounts and putting out fires, okay? The goal here is to remove you from the day-to-day operations. And that's why you need to have clear expectations, a clear schedule, and clear tracking. If you don't have this, you're going to step in every single time there's something urgent or something out of line, okay? The next one is creating a job description per person in the team. So that means for every role in the company, you need to have a job description. I've created another YouTube video about this. You can check it out on the links attached to this video. And in short, you need to create a job description that actually makes sense to you. You have the areas of responsibility. What is this person responsible for? And then you need to have also their time and focus allocation in percentages. Where do you want them to spend their time? The next one is the mission, success in the role, how they can grow in this role, and what does their daily life and weekly schedule as well as the monthly focus look like. You also explain to them how they work with other roles. For example, if I have a systems integrator, how do they work with a tech admin, or how do they work with the team lead that is managing systems integrators, right? And for this, you don't have to spend too much time. You can also use ChatGPT to help you with this. just simply describe your business model. What do you do for your clients? What roles do you have in your business? Or if you don't know, you can just ask ChatGPT to tell you what roles you need to have in your business. And then from there, you can just go and create those job descriptions per team member. This will create a lot of clarity in your team. And now you will know that if something is not working, it's because this person who is responsible for this specific area is not doing their job right. And then you can take action. You can either replace them or have a chat or work on performance improvement, but at least you know what is going on and who is responsible for this. Again, the goal is to remove you from the day-to-day operations, so make sure to have job descriptions that create more clarity and people know what they need to take care of. Next, you need to delegate these 3 major responsibilities. For example, if you are a designer, you need to have a lead designer in your company. This person will be responsible to answer questions and oversee the quality. So any questions related to design or any tasks that require some input or some insights, this person will take care of this. So if you have an SEO agency, you need an SEO specialist that can lead that department. Whatever is your product or your service, you need to have someone who is leading that. The next one is the delivery manager. So the delivery manager is the person responsible to get the team to complete their tasks on time. It doesn't need to be someone highly skilled on that specific subject matter or the service that you're providing, but they need to be very organized. They'll be responsible to manage ClickUp on your behalf, follow up with the team, have conversations. So the delivery manager is pretty much responsible that at the end of the week, all the tasks were completed, and they work closely with the lead specialist. So then the team has the answers. The delivery manager makes sure that all the tasks make sense, the workload is manageable, and the team members are performing and they are happy. And then the last responsibility you need to delegate for is the client success admin. This is a person responsible to manage and filter any client requests. Clients will be messaging you left and right. They have these questions, they need a doc, they need to schedule something. So have a client success admin act as the wall between the client and you and the delivery manager. So the client success admin will escalate requests to the delivery manager. If the delivery manager cannot handle those, then they're going to escalate them to you. So this way you have 2 steps before a request reaches you. The point here is not to completely remove you, but to make sure that your time is spent wisely and you don't answer questions like, hey, where can I find this dog? Where can I find this folder? Because a client success admin can help with this, right? And you could have some sort of VA that is responsible for this, and you can just show them exactly how your service works, how the product works, so then they can answer questions on behalf of the team. If they need to shoot any Loom videos, they can do it, right? And then the delivery manager can just jump in and answer harder questions or make decisions if you're going to work on tasks a certain time or later on. So let's get to the last 2 points that I want to share with you. Delegate planning and reporting is the next one. You need the lead specialist and the delivery manager to send you reports weekly on the progress of the team. For example, they need to plan at the start of the week, and then by the end of the week, they need to report back to you how everything is progressing. If something is falling behind and why it is falling behind. If a client is a red flag or is performing very well, these team members are responsible to send you those reports every week. So then you can verify that the team is performing, that everything is getting done, and the business is growing. And your role then is step number 10, which is to oversee delivery and only work on high-level tasks. While you won't be completely removed from your business, you will be removed from the day-to-day operations. That means that you will know what the plan looks like. You can create strategies for your clients. You can come up with ideas, but you have a team that will execute on your ideas and make sure that they bring them to life. This way, you can work on your business and not in the business on the day-to-day operations. It is really important that as you scale, you try to delegate everything within your business. And delegation comes with a few extra steps. You cannot just be messaging people and then see tasks magically happen, because there's going to be scale. That means more volume, more complexity, and that requires more structure. So you go, put things in ClickUp, make sure that everything is on ClickUp, the workload is being managed by a delivery manager, you have the client success admin overseeing client communication, and then the lead specialist answering questions related to the service or insights. So this is what we do with our clients. If you want to work on this on your own, now you do have the plan and you have the action items you need to work on. But if you want me and my team to come in and help you scale to multiple 6 or 7 figures per month, then I'll be happy to jump on a call with you and see how we can get your business to scale without you being involved on the day-to-day operations and without being the chief operator of everything. If you want to check on the description, you can schedule the call, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you for watching.